Spoiled, selfish, self-centered. This woman believes the sun should rise and set according.
It's like I'm just partying every single weekend. And I'm gonna have to party tomorrow, and then I'm gonna have to party in 2 weeks from now.
I'm 32 and childless by choice, and I love it. This is a typical weekday as a woman in her 30s with no kids yet. I'm having a spontaneous dinner with friends in LA, and to be quite honest, I love knowing that I have the freedom of being spontaneous and doing what I love whenever I want with my time. I also love knowing that I don't have to stress about getting a nanny. You guys, I know a lot of people try to make women in their 30s feel bad for not having children yet, and some for not wanting to have children, but to be quite honest, like, there's so much like leisure time that you have when you don't have kids, and I honestly love this side of life. And yes, I can't wait to have my own kids one day, but while I don't have them, I'm definitely going to enjoy the freedom of it. Anyways, I am wearing the skirt and shoes from Zara. I got the top at a thrift shop in LA, and yeah, the earrings are from Amazon.
Hey my rich babes, I'm Bella Dyor, and we're talking about my babe who do not have no children, who are over the age of 30 and are living their best life. People have definitely rolled their eyes when they have told them that they decided to not have any children and just focus solely on themselves. As a mother myself, I totally understand. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back at the end with the rest of my commentary. Thank you.
When people with no kids come on here and say, oh, I don't got no kids, my life is good, my life is peaceful. Us with kids, we be looking at them like, what? But today I understood what they were talking about. My kids started school. I just woke up from a 2 o'clock nap. Okay? I forgot that my AC unit makes noise. So I wake up all confused and combobulated. I'm like, what's that noise? It's my AC unit. All summer long, I did not hear that noise. Why? Because I got kids in the house. They're making noise. I haven't took a nap since June 26th. Okay? So now I get what I forgot that my clock made noise. Hold on. So I'm like, all these weird noises. My clock make noise too. Eating Oreos in the middle of the day. Hey, the audacity to add milk. And all, I say shout out to you moms who homeschool your kids and have them all year round with no break. Like, there's a special place in heaven for you. Shout out to you, because I'm about to watch cartoon, eat my Oreos, dip it in milk. School is good, Dad. School is good. Let me go back to take another nap for 30 minutes. Ciao.
You know, if you're a single woman in your 30s, unmarried, no kids, you are winning in life. And let me impart 3 reasons why I feel this way. The first reason is you made it this far without having any children, and that leaves your options very, very open. You know, my generation, we were just expected to get married and have kids. And if you made it to your 30s without being married, you were actually frowned upon. But in this generation, you could do all sorts of things. You could switch careers, you could change cities. The sky's the limit. The second thing is you have to understand that things are not always what they seem. Like, for instance, my best friend, she was 31 or 32 at the time that I was 30. And I'd given myself a 30th birthday party, and she flew out to attend the party. And we were in the kitchen, and I had not yet told her that my first marriage was over and I was getting ready to file for divorce. So we're standing in the kitchen, right? And she says, oh my God, you have such a beautiful life. Look at this home, and you have 2 beautiful kids, and blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't hold it anymore. And I said, girl, this is a shit show. This is a shit show. We're getting ready to get a divorce. And I just remember her in her singleness, you know, she always felt like she was behind. And I learned from that. Things are not always what they seem. So comparison is the thief of joy, y'all. And then the last thing I want to impart on you all is that two things can occur at the exact same time. And what I mean by that is you can completely be content in your singlehood and enjoy, living alone and not having any children and just loving your life, traveling and all of those things. And then at the exact same time, have periods of loneliness and feeling lonely. And that's okay too. Let those feelings pass through you, because that's all loneliness is. It's a fleeting moment. It'll come and it'll go. Just enjoy the season that you're in, because there are other women looking at you saying, oh my God, look at your life. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Y'all winning. All right, love y'all. Bye.
I don't have any kids, and the best thing about this is it's just me. So restarting life, it's just me. If I want to move, it's just me. If I want to start a new career, it's just me. And I actively knew that. And that's a cheat code, because the moment you commit yourself to a person, marriage, be it having children, all of that is taken away. And there's such a beauty that I've really been able to flow through life like a man, because I get to do whatever I want to do. To add into that my career of being a flight attendant, I was essentially using the airplane as a city bus to gallivant around the world. So the question is, do you want to be able to do what you want to do? And if that is yes, if the answer to that is yes, then there's several other things that will not be a part of your life. You will have to learn to be with yourself. I didn't say by yourself, with yourself, because there's a beauty in being comfortable with yourself. You will learn how to navigate the world within your own parameters. You will learn what you don't like, what you do like, what you won't tolerate. And a lot of this is done with yourself. It's not done by outsourcing the answers from people outside of you. It's doing it by yourself. It's the crying, it's the loneliness, it's the second guessing yourself, and then coming through the other side saying like, whoa, I did it. I'm so strong. I'm proud of myself. What's next? Because in every difficult time is the new version of you that's waiting on the other side. But if you fear that difficult time and you want to always have someone, always, whether that's a child, whether that's a partner, whether that's a friend, to gather your information from, that can be a weakness. There's a true strength in being your everything. This is not saying don't ask for help, because I believe in the saying that says we don't ask for help because we are weak. We ask for help to remain strong. But knowing I'm doing this with myself, for myself, to build myself is the strongest character trait. And for women, it's a saving grace.
80% of my life problems were solved by not having kids. When I get paid, my whole check go to me. I ain't dividing it. I ain't none of that. I can lay in bed all day, and I ain't got to worry about cooking nobody breakfast. I ain't got to worry about registering nobody for school. Baby, let me tell you something. Being single and childless is really a gift. I literally have a different level of freedom. My life does not come with restrictions, a schedule. Don't let this hypersexual generation deceive you. Do not move too fast. Allow your steps to be ordered by the Lord. The Bible says a righteous man's steps are ordered by the Lord. So when you go out and try to do things your own way, you're going to make a disaster. I don't care how much you try to lie to yourself, how much you try to deceive people. You will literally suffer when you try to do things outside of God's will. So when the Bible says singleness is a gift, I'm a living witness. I'm proof. Y'all go read the Isaiah 54 woman, the single and childless woman. Go read about her. I know all in church, they promoted the Proverbs 31 woman, the virtuous wife. But go read who the Isaiah 54 woman is. I'm telling you, that is a powerful woman. And I believe that that I am that woman, and this is the season I'm in, and I love it. I love it. I love it. And whatever God wants for me, I want it. But if he wants me to be in this place of singleness, I will stay here. But if you want to send me a husband, if you want to bless me with kids, I'm cool. God, I want what you want for me. I don't want to miss it. But I won't complain. Whatever place I'm in, I won't complain. And I will enjoy and make the best of it. So comment below. I won't complain.
So I'm 37, don't have any kids. I'm not married. I don't have a husband. I'm not even in a relationship. And a lot of times people look at me and they're like, oh, she must be so lonely, or you must be so lonely. And the truth is I'm not. I'm not. I have my family that I love so much. They're so close to me. They mean so much to me. I have my friends that are like, my sisters. I love them so dearly. And, I have my career that I'm so fulfilled by. And I decided to come up to Canada for the weekends. And come on guys, look at this view. That's the view from my hotel room. I'm a solo traveler. I go pretty much everywhere alone if I'm not with my girls, and highly recommend. When it's your time, it's your time. Don't rush things. Enjoy life as it is. Enjoy life by yourself. Learn to make yourself happy. When it's your time, it's your time.
Society will tell you that if you're 30 plus, unmarried, and without children, that you're a failure. But my biggest flex as a 34-year-old woman who has never been married and doesn't have any children is that I didn't allow a man to waste my youth. I didn't allow people to pressure me into marrying too young before I figured out who I was and what I liked. I allowed myself to experience life, make mistakes without any judgment. I didn't get too caught up in finding the love of my life in my 20s. I had to make sure that I could love me for the long haul, because we're all we got.
Can all my women in their 30s tell me what it's like to not have kids?
Hi, I'm 33 and I have no kids. And I have no kids by choice. And I don't want kids. I personally don't think this creator did anything wrong having kids in her 30s. I don't think there is a perfect time to have kids. I don't think you'll ever be ready to have kids. As long as you wanted kids, then you're good. You're solid. The kids are going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. But me personally, I don't want kids. I've never wanted kids. You see my house, it's beige as fuck because I don't have kids. My dog, she's not here right now, but she's beige. She fits the aesthetic. I'm too selfish to have kids, plain and simple. I'm too selfish to have kids. And that's just because I was raised in a Latino household where I practically raised my brothers and sisters, including my mom. I raised her too. So I've been raising people my entire life. I don't want to do it anymore. My mom has scarred me from ever wanting children. My mom says that when I was like 15, or probably even younger, I always said that I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I can't imagine the life that I live now. And it's not like I do anything wild. It's not like a fucking going out every single day. I truly like my peace. My house is always quiet. Listen, when my sister, I have a 10-year-old sister. When my sister says, Vicky, I want to, but I'm not. Can you imagine if that was mommy? I simply can't do it. Shout out to all the mothers out there doing it, killing it, single mothers. I was raised by a single mother like you guys. You guys on the bomb.com. But me, simply, I could never do it. I just can't do it. I don't want to do it. I choose not to do it. I'm too selfish with my time. I don't care what the men on this app got to say. Oh, you look old. No man's ever going to want you anyway. I don't care. Pookie, I simply don't care. Look at me. I'm so happy. I can't do it, but it's not for me. My life's great, and I don't think women that have children, I don't think your life sucks. And I don't understand this beef between women that have children and women who don't have children. Like, you guys want to rave about your kids. I love that for you. I want to rave about the fact that I don't have kids and I never will. So I think we should just unite, love each other, say fuck them kids together.
I was younger. I was convinced that I was going to be married, have a few kids, beautiful home by the time I was my age, 32. And never in a million years did I think I would be husbandless, childless, and not own a home at 32. But I must say, I am very happy to be 32 years old, and the only thing I need to worry about is making sure my eye masks, these little eye things, don't fall off my face. That's what I'm worrying about. That and making sure my ice roller is still cold. Okay? I'm okay with that right now. I don't know who told us that that was the goal and the dream. Like, this is very comfortable. I'm gonna watch something that I've seen a bunch of times already and just relax. Maybe have some sparkling water with a lemon. I don't know. But my house will be very quiet while I do it.
It always cracks me up when people literally try to convince me that I want children after I've iterated time and time again that I don't want children. And I will probably never want, not even probably, actually, let me take the probably out. I will never want children. Okay? I am the firstborn daughter of an immigrant family. My parents are from Uganda. The expectation is that I should want kids. I have 2 younger siblings. I don't ever want children. And I think the reason why is, 1, they don't fit my lifestyle. So that's 1. 2, I feel as though because I was the oldest, raising kids is something I'm very familiar with. My parents were present parents. Well, my mom was. But for me specifically, there is a level of responsibility that I had at a very young age because I had siblings now. Also, I just feel as though I don't trust the world with children. And I am very, very protective. I'm very, very, very protective of my friends, of people that I love and care about. So if I had kids, it would be like on 1,000. So really, I'm trying not to have kids, or I'm not going to have kids for the sake of y'all. Okay? Because one thing about it, if something happened to my kid, I'm ending all of this. We all finna be done. There's no coming back from that. So, next time you want to ask me if I want children and I say no, just know it's for your sake too, as much as it is for mine. Thank you.
I'm a 30-year-old millennial, and I have decided that I do not want children. However, I have held space for myself to change my mind at any time. I'm not holding myself to, like, you absolutely can never have them, so go get fixed now. Because honestly, I can't pull the trigger. I tried one time, and I just couldn't do it. So I am holding space to change my mind, but I absolutely know I don't want them. I just don't know if anyone else also feels this way, because you don't want them, but you're also just seeing if maybe you'll change your mind. And I guess it depends on why you don't want them. I have a lot of reasons, and I can make a whole nother video about that. But really, my main reason is that I kind of feel like, and this is me, so please do not be offended. For me, it's like, I think I'll have kids once I'm done living my life and doing everything I want to do. And I feel like that will never happen. That's why I say I don't want kids. But at the same time, I feel like it could happen. And I could be like, you know what? Yeah, let's go on this journey. Let's do this for the rest of our lives, because it is a lifetime commitment. And I feel like that's why I am team no kids. But let me know if anyone else feels the same.
If you are single, unmarried, no kids, in your 30s, listen to me very, very carefully. Come closer. You did not make it this far to become a stepmom.
Okay, so I'm 30. I'm 30 years old. I don't have any kids. And this honestly is never taken well. So for dudes, they be like, why you don't got no kids? Or, I'm just like, I've never been pregnant. How can I have children if I've never been pregnant? And of course, they'd be like, oh, you're a unicorn. I never met a woman of your age and don't have kids. And I'm like, okay. And then their follow-up question is, well, do you want kids? No, I don't. Then they want to know why I don't want kids. Okay. I like to move freely. I want to be responsible for my life and my life only. I can't have somebody counting on me in that way. And then there was a chance that I failed them. I don't want to have kids. I mean, truly enough, like y'all know, I got 13 nieces and nephews that I helped raise. So I'm really over it. I'm over it. And so to have the trials and tribulations as an auntie is one thing. But that means that's the typical trials and tribulations of a parent. Day in, day out, 24 hours a day. Honey, I don't want that. I like being an auntie. I like quietness. I like my, alone time. And the thing is like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with a person saying that they don't want kids. Because there's a lot of parents out here who have kids and then realize that they really didn't want to be a parent. And then it reflects in their parenting. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I don't want to have kids. I love kids and I'm not against it. So if it happens, I won't be devastated depending on the situation. But I wouldn't mind giving my husband a child, but that's only if he agrees that I am a stay-at-home mother. I will not try to work and raise a child. And I know a lot of mothers do, and shout out to y'all, but I'm not doing it. So if that's not a clear understanding with my husband, then I will not give him a child. I don't care.
I stitched somebody in a previous post, go check that out, and she was asking 30-year-olds what their lives are like without having kids, and a man, of course it's a man, of course, who else would have the audacity but a man? Anyways, so he commented that I am lazy because I choose not to have kids. The comment is now gone because, of course, they never had the courage to stick around. Anyways, but there's a lot of things you can call me in this life, but lazy and me don't even go in the same sentence. I don't even need to begin to go through the line of every single thing that I do. But if you follow me, you know I'm a girl that I am always up and running, doing things, running my business, speaking, facilitating, teaching, giving back to the community, traveling, doing this, doing that, doing that. So me and lazy, sir, you might as well follow me now, because let me teach you something.
I am so happy to see so many women wanting to remain child-free. And as a woman who has raised 2 children, I want to further encourage you to please remain child-free. And if you are a Black woman, I further encourage you, highly encourage you to remain child-free. There is no reward at the end of motherhood. There isn't even a guarantee that your children will love you back. And in the community, we're seeing an uptick of women being unalived by the very children that they birth. You can't imagine the amount of stress on your nervous system when not only do you have to think about your survival, but the survival of 2 children that depend on you totally. The toll that pregnancy takes on your body, the possibility of postpartum depression, your body being stretched to its capacity, never looking the same, the bottles, the Pampers, the constant crying. You are on your job 24 hours, 365. There is never a day off for mothers. Save your womb, sis.
If you're 30 years old, single, with no kids, this is for you. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about it. I remember the years leading up to 30s, like 26, 27, 28. People just seeing you differently, asking you dumb questions like, when are you gonna have kids? I don't know, let me check my crystal ball. I'll let you know in a sec. Overall, they actually do look at you as if your life is not put together. You are the problem, and you probably are like irresponsible, or there's just something wrong with you because of the fact. There's nothing wrong with you. Now that I'm pregnant, I have seen how people's perception of me have changed. Not saying that it's horrible, but it's just funny to me, this topic, because people seriously will see you now as much more mature. If it would have happened when I was younger, okay, so be it, right? That's fine. But my whole point is, why does it matter when? Like, I just find that so weird. Because nothing you've done, none of your accomplishments in life matter. None of that was a reason to be proud and think that you had your life together. Because you didn't want to start reproducing very young at the age of, like, you don't even know who you are and probably had no business reproducing. But now, everything has changed. Again, it's just very interesting how people switch up just because they actually think a person in your life or a baby in your life actually defines you and, like, yeah, just stands for your accomplishments in life, but totally forget how, like, what other real accomplishments you've done. Like, you didn't do anything with your life until that moment. And what's also weird is, like, you know how many people end up telling you don't have kids, but then they are the same exact ones that are looking at people weird when people don't have kids. All right, well, that was my rant.
I want to talk about the weird experience of being in your 30s, child-free, and also single. Now, don't get me wrong, like, there's so many things I love about it. I love being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want to do it. I love that I can form friendships in a lot of different pockets, do a lot of different hobbies, yada yada. There's so many pros out there to my lifestyle. I'm not complaining about that. I just want to touch on this weird factor of it. Relationships are changing now. Like, on one hand, I have a lot of friends who are in, like, their late 20s, maybe kind of just on that cusp, and they're still doing their life. They're still, you know, progressing in different ways. And then I have a lot of friends who are in their mid-30s or married or have kids. And this is where it gets kind of tricky. I love these friends so much. I want to spend time with them. I want to see them. But it feels like every single time I try to initiate something with them, it's like, oh, well, we got the kids, or we got so-and-so's birthday with other couples. You don't want to do that. Just a bunch of married couples or a bunch of, like, other families. It would just be weird if you were there. It would just be weird. And that's missing the point that, like, I want to still have friendships with these people because they matter to me. Like, they're wonderful people. It'd be super fun. But I feel this weird burden to kind of go out of my way to try and spend time with them when they're not really reciprocating that. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I've been like, hey, I will drive to your house just so that we can load up your car and run errands with you and your kids. And I can just spend, 30 minutes to an hour just talking with you, spending time with you. It doesn't have to be the most genuine, like, we're going out and spending $30 here, doing like a designated event together. I just want to spend time with you. It can be a very low maintenance thing, but I just feel like it's, all the responses I get are, oh, sure, or that'd be just so weird. But I do love you and I do miss you. And so that's just like this weird, hard place that I am in now that I'm in my 30s. And I'm, especially since I'm single too, there's just this added element of, I'm kind of a free floater agent. I kind of just do what I want here and I like hang out. And a lot of my friends who are married and have kids or just married are just very set within their dynamics. And it's kind of a shame. And that's one of the cons of being at this stage in your life. Still wouldn't change all the great blessings of being single, not having kids right now. It's just a weird time.
I don't know who this is for today, but I want to tell you, just because you are in your 30s and you are single and you might be feeling behind in life, you are not. You are where you're supposed to be right now. God has not forgotten you. God has not failed you. You are not a failure. Let me tell you something. The world will make you feel inadequate because of that. Because you are in your 30s or 40s and single with no kids and you're not where you're supposed to be in life. Because again, we serve an on-time God. You are never behind. The enemy loves to put that lie in our minds. It tells us like, oh, look at everyone else around you having kids, going to different places in their life, living a life that's different than yours. And you think to yourself, why isn't that happening for me? Or maybe you've been praying and you've been asking God, why am I still in this season of my life? Everybody else around me is moving forward. Why am I not? Or maybe you feel that God has forgotten you. But the Lord himself says that he can never forget you. He will never forget you. You are not behind. You are where you're supposed to be right now in this season. The Lord does not put us in seasons for no reason. He does not put us in places just for us to suffer. This is not a jail sentence that you are in your 30s and single. And I'm specifically talking to my women out there. Society tells us there's something wrong with us when we're in our 30s and single, no kids. Let me tell you something. God's plan always prevails. When the Lord speaks a promise over your life, doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter where you are in life, it's gonna come to pass. Look at all the women in the Bible. I really want you to study the women in the Bible. I am specifically going to talk about Sarah. She was given a promise that she was going to have a son in her old age. And her and Abraham, most likely when they were younger, thought that they would never have kids, that they were behind in life because everybody else around them was having children and they didn't have kids. God did not fail that promise. God will never fail his promises, and he can never fail his word. She had Isaac at age 90. And God's plan still came to pass. I'm not saying we're going to have kids in our 90s, but what I'm saying is that when the Lord has plans for you, don't look at society's timeline. Timelines are nothing to God. That is literally nothing, because God is outside of time. He's not on our timeline. We need to submit to his timeline for our life. So when you look around and when you look and say, okay, everybody else around me is moving ahead and going forward and I'm not, remember that God is an on-time God. Remember that God cannot fail you, that God cannot lie, and that he has plans for your life. Meditate on Jeremiah 29:11. He knows the plans that he has for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a hope and a future. Don't look at the things around, because the enemy wants you to keep your eyes focused on other people and where everybody else is and what society says. But God wants you to focus on him. Focus on the things above, not the things on this earth. Focus on Jesus Christ. You are not behind. You are right on time. God has not forgotten you.
I did want kids, and the window of desire has closed.
Okay.
I bet you I could still have kids if I wanted. I'm 49. I don't know that I want that. Although, I don't know, if I met someone and fell madly in love.
Now listen, I be damned if my kids act any type of way like that in the store, but babes, the ones who do not have kids, I swear y'all do have a flex. I am not gonna lie, as a mom myself, being a mother is very much rewarding, and I'm very proud to be the mother that I am today. However, when I get overwhelmed, I'm like, dang, like I know women who don't have any kids that don't even have to go through this. And that woman in one of the videos, 90 or 80% of her problems were solved by just not having any kids. I totally felt that, because a lot of the times it's always about the children, and you have to go above and beyond to make sure that your children have what they need. I mean, listen, my rich babes who do not have any children, you are definitely flexing, but don't get it twisted. I know moms such as myself that work twice as hard to be in places that y'all should be. So what I'm saying is that the ones who don't have any children, y'all should be at the top tier. Y'all should be looking your absolute best. Everything for you should be in order. And I have seen some women without kids get complacent. But let me tell you, don't let that be you. Moms like myself are out here hustling hard, finding ways to win despite our responsibilities. So if you're childless and you want to be childless, you should be out there thriving and being on the very top. There's no reason not to be. I want to encourage you to use every bit of that energy and potential that you currently have. have. Because you're childless and you're single, or you might be with your man, you have the power to pour back into yourself and focus on your passions and build a life that is fulfilling for you. You can definitely get up and do whatever you want. You have the time and energy that a lot of moms like myself are constantly trying to balance and maximize to even get to that fullest potential. So to all of my ladies out there who do not have any children yet, or just don't want them at all, and might feel any pressure to settle down or start a family, take a deep breath and just live your life for you. Focus on your goals, become the very best version of yourself, and don't let society rush you into anything you're not ready for. Remember, being single and childless doesn't mean that you are behind. Also understand that whether you're childless or whether you are a mom, people are going to talk about you no matter what. So you might as well look good at whichever path you decide to take. It means you're on the right track for your own path. And whatever path that is, make sure that it's the one that you're winning, thriving, and using every bit of your potential. Thanks so much, Rych Babes, for tuning in. Rych Babes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell so you'll get notified of every single content that I post. And I will see you on the next video. And if you know any moms who are doing their damn thing, please give them a high five, give them a hug, give them some love, because it is so hard to still be a mother and still be out here thriving. Okay, so see y'all.